Hello and welcome everybody, my name is Savage and today we're going to be looking at Sol. So following on from yesterday's video, we were looking at a few possibilities and basically we were looking at a few options from this and this was the one that I was currently thinking is the most probable is we're going to see this move down into this 1279 area to this 1169 area. Particular interest around this 1231 as a 618 retracement. And what we'd be looking for here is the potential of this bigger ABC to the downside. So what happens after this point? There's a few possibilities, but basically this is what we need to see. We need to see a move into this zone first. Now the move down hasn't been quite as clean as I was hoping, but from this high point here, if I zoom in on this, basically we can see that we have a five-wave move into this zone here. So now we were looking for a retracement to the upside as a B wave. This could be completed within this move here. If we see, we moved up to the 618 and we found rejection on this, and we seem to have been developing an additional five-wave move on a smaller scale here. So it's possible that basically we could have this as a completed A, B, and a C at this point, where we have this as basically a zigzag and then a five-wave move. Although we just need to bear in mind until confirmation of this would only come by dropping back below this 1327 area. Dropping back below that would then make us look at this as a B wave completed. And then what we would be looking for, if I move this fib quickly, we would be looking for a move to the downside again in a so a 1-to-1 area would take us towards this 1223 area, which would be basically just a bigger A into this zone. Sorry, wrong one. This one, an A down into this zone, a B up into here, and then a C wave decline like this. And this would be a three-wave move. So this could effectively mark the completion if we finish between this zone here. Ideally, we would like to take out this A wave low, but it isn't necessary. We could look at this rather as an AB rather than an ABC as a 333, and that would be a WXY, and that could be a completed move into this 1293 area. Alternatively, we could still look for this to progress further to the downside, and what we would be looking for then is a move past this if I zoom in here, this 1231 area. Moving past 1231 with the current structure would then make this rather, instead of a ABC, we would be looking at a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. So this could take us deeper down into this typical support zone that we were looking at. And from that point, there's a few options that can play out. We went into a lot of detail with them yesterday, but basically what we could be looking for is a bigger five-wave move to the upside, though confirmation of that from this zone here of this line, this 1233, which if we did play out as a five-wave move in, this would bring us lower, so it would change these targets slightly. But basically what we'd be looking for is a bigger five-wave move if this is going to be an expanding flat in this move here, where this is an A, a B, and a C up into these highs. Though, like we were talking about yesterday, we need to be just be mindful that if I just switch this up and I put the running flat on, there is also potential we could have finished here as a running flat, and then this is just an A, B, and a C, and effectively that could be a completed correction, though confirmation would only come by dropping below this 1094 area. If that is a completed move into there, then we would be looking for a move potentially down to this 960 area to this 779 area. If that played out, then what we would have here is, instead of having this fourth correction developing higher, we would have this fourth here, which would then put our fifth wave area here. So we've got that marked up over here. It's just off to the side. So basically, then we'd be looking at this as a fifth wave into this zone here, and then From there, I would be looking for an additional fourth wave to the upside, and this would complete this yellow third wave. So if we do start to break down here, take out this low here, this could be a potential area that we're looking to target, this 960 to the 797, 779 area rather. But if not, we could still be within this fourth wave, and it's going to be looking to progress up higher in either. It should be, because we've taken this low here, we would have to argue that it should be a 5 wave move. It's not very common when we get in WXY where it does this, where it takes this low and then it moves up in a third wave again. Sorry, in a 3 wave move again. So it's more likely that we're going to see this 5 wave move to the upside if it's going to develop as a expanding flat. Though we also need to bear in mind there is the potential that we could just form um, an ABC to the upside, and what we would be looking for here is if we instead of forming a 5 wave move to the downside, if we complete this move as an a B into there, and a C wave down to these zones, basically what we could look at is the potential that we have. If I just measure this from this bottom here, let's get right in here, get on there, up into this high point, down into this low point. We can see a 1-to-1 would take us, so off that 618 it would take us like this line is sort of it's not set in stone. We can move it up and down. It depends exactly where the C wave is formed, because basically we wouldn't get confirmation of this until we form a D wave. But it's just worth noting that we could actually be seeing a triangle within this zone where we form a zigzag to the upside. We break down in another zigzag, then we break up in another zigzag for an E wave, and then look to progress down in that fifth wave that we just talked about. So that is one of the options that we're just keeping an eye on. This would take a lot longer to develop if it does play out, because basically we would still need to complete this C, D, and this E wave, so we would just be range bound for a long period of time. If we fail to get any kind of substantial moves up or down and we continue to have the correct structure, then we could be looking at this option playing out. This would be a sort of slow, drawn out move. So if we start to see something like that, it could be indicating that we have that kind of a move. But yeah, until we break back above this 1438 area, even if we do progress up again here, so if we look at this as so if we drop this back down to this zone here, so you can see we've come down to the 618 area already. And what are the stochastics? The stochastics on the 1 hour is low, the 4 hours low, the 8 hours low. It's just the daily that's still right up there. So it is also possible that what we could see here is the potential for an a B, and a C, provided we stay above this point here, which is 1327. If we stay above 1327, it's possible we could see this move play out to the upside. So I'm just going to measure off here. If we have a look at this, take it up to there, 618. We've moved down to it and found support. This could just be a completed zigzag at this point, and then we could look to move up from here. Effectively, if we're going to move up from here, we wouldn't want to lose this low that was set here at this 1351. Though looking at this substructure, it could potentially have another wave to the downside here. It could have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. If that's the case, then basically we'd be looking to target on a little bit lower here. Although there's a lot of overlap in here, so it is possible it's completed there. But should we look to move down more, we could find support in this 1346 to 1348 area. If we find support rather here, then basically what we'd be looking at is either we need to move back up and take this high of 1401, or we need to be aware that we could still see some progression to the downside. And what we would be wary of here would be the fact that basically we could form a 5-wave move down like this. So we'd go into there, 1, 2, 3, up here for 4, 5 into this zone, and then look for rejection again to the upside. If that were to play out, we would be looking for rejection potentially between this 1389 to this 13. Let me move this over so we can see it better. Why are you like that? There we go. 1371. Basically, a move up into this zone, finding rejection could indicate that we still have some more downside to go here, and that could just either be as a zigzag, and we're looking to just target into this box, and that would take us down a bit further. So we'd be looking, like we said, target out this 1293 area. But looking at the state of this, if I just drop a mark on here on the smaller time frame, let's get rid of these fibs for the second. If we drop a line here on the 618 retracement off of this zone, I'm just going to drop it in there. We normally base it off the 618 until we get more structure. That's at least my option of doing it, because it's very common. So there's 50% in the 618, somewhere in between that zone. So the thing with this move though is we would have had this is a 5-wave move, so we'd be looking for potential for this to develop into a bigger move to the downside as a 5. So 1285 would be the impulsive trigger for this. If it was going to move down in a 5-wave move from here, we would be looking at this as a 1 into this low and move up into the rejection zone, 3, 4, and a 5 5th wave down. So basically that would target out that sort of area, and we would be looking for a move potentially down to this 1277 to 1264 area. And if that is the case, that could be a completed zigzag at that point. If I remove some of these off of here, what we'd be looking for there is a zigzag from this point A, a B, and a C, and then that could effectively mark this this low point of this move as an A and a B and a C. And then from there, it's all important. It's basically what happens. Like I said, if we drop down past this 1233 area, then we're looking to push much lower down into this box. Failing to hold this $10.94 area would indicate we are already in this 4th wave, and we're looking to target out this zone here of 962 to 780. So those are just the things we're currently looking for, and I hope you found this video useful. If you'd like to support the channel, we have a link to the Discord down below. Also in there, you'll find an affiliate link to BYBIT. It's one of the best exchanges. We use it in all of our trades, whether it's spot trading or leverage trading. It's a great exchange to use. And finally, if you haven't hit that like button, please smash it up. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, jump on it right now. And until we meet in the next video, keep safe out there, everybody.